In this video, I'm going to tell you why I left the union. Don't get me wrong, there's great things about the union and there's horrible things about the union. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about both of it because, well, I've been union and I've been non-union. And I'm going to tell you at the end the real reason why I left. I joined the union in 1997 and literally have almost 25 years experience in it. Now, when I say 25 years experience, that's 25 years credit. So the things that I love most about the union are, number one, the insurance. Every company that I ever worked with in the union, your insurance is covered. It's part of your package. It's part of your benefits. So the insurance plan is phenomenal. And it's not just me, it's my entire family. Meaning, if I got married to a lady that had 25 kids, you know what? They're all covered. And it doesn't cost me anymore. It really doesn't even cost the contractor anymore, the company that I work for. It's part of the union package. They bring everybody in as a group. So the insurance that the union has is really, man, it's good insurance. It's phenomenal. It's nice to have. And I always make good use of it. Meaning my doctor's appointments, medical stays, anything at all, even the prescriptions, they have good insurance. But remember, they're part of a nationwide plan or even a regional plan to get you the best deal that they can get you. And I got to tell you, their insurance plan is phenomenal. When I say I love the union, let me go back and say this. I love the union from an employee's point of view. Meaning, if you're an employee, getting into the union is amazing. If you're never going to open your own company, good for you. Once you're open your own company, get out of the union. And I'm going to tell you more about that later. But from an employee's point of view, the union is a great thing. So I talked about the insurance. Now the other one is the training. I mean, they've literally got training centers all across the United States, Canada, Australia. I'm not even sure where all they're at now. But there are so many training centers that it makes it a great way that worldwide they can train plumbers. And once a year at the instructor training program, they bring the top apprentices from around the world, 6 in each category, and they compete in competitions to judge themselves against other apprentices from around the world. It really is, it's a neat deal. That takes me into another thing I love about the union is the history. The history of where the union came from, why it was created, why it grew like it did. There's so many good things about the union that as an employee, man, I loved it. I thought bringing people into the union, I thought me getting into the union was a phenomenal thing. And I was always very proud of that and proud of the fact that I was part of a brotherhood and part of a group of plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians that, you know what, this is a good group and they take pride in their work. Now, there's things that happen along the way that make me look back at that and kind of question a lot of things. But from an employee's point of view, the union is good. The other good thing is the retirement plan. I've got plumbers that I've worked with. I've got plumbers that I grew up with that literally are going to be plumbing till they're 90 years old because they have no retirement plan. I know plumbers that are 70 years old still out turning a wrench every day, but that's part of their deal. They understand, look, I'm a plumber. They didn't save money. They didn't have a retirement plan. They didn't have a pension plan. They didn't invest in their future, so they're going to keep working. That is one of the best things about the union. They've at least got a retirement plan that is always going to make sure that when you retire, you're taken care of. There's money there to support you. And if the union would invest in growth, their growth would make sure that that would be around. But anyway, the retirement plan is a benefit. And as an employee, even an employer, man, that's not a bad thing. So when I say it as an employer, when I became an employer, when I became a contractor, I wanted to be union because of two big deals. Number one, I wanted to make sure that I was doing the best thing for my employees. Now remember, like I said a while ago, I think for employees, the union is a great thing. I think for employers, it ain't no good. And I'll explain more about that. But bringing people into the union, whenever you can tell them about the insurance, the pension, the training, it really is, to me, that should be greatness. So when I became a contractor, I went down and talked to my local and talked to them about the things I was wanting to do. I thought, you know what? If I'm going to hire guys, I want to be able to put them in the best situation possible. I want to make sure that they get good training. I want to make sure that they have good insurance. I want to make sure that they have a way to retire so they're not having to work every day for the rest of their life. That's why I became a union contractor. And at first I thought, man, this is greatness. The other reason that I thought it was so great, the union is a labor pool, meaning as a general contractor, I should be able to call down the union and say, hey, I need 4 licensed plumbers next week, tomorrow, whatever the case is. Well, now we start getting into the problems. First of all, the reason I hate the union, earlier I said I love it from an employee point of view, and I do. If I was going to be on my tools for the rest of my life, or not even on my tools, a superintendent, a foreman, whatever I wanted to do in the union, man, a great place to be as an employee. But once I became an employer, now it looks a little different. And here's why. Remember, I told you I signed up in the union because of the labor pool, but our union does not train service. So they literally could give me no labor. Meaning if I needed a plumber and I called them, they just laugh. They're like, well, go hire one. We don't have any. We don't have any that can do what you want done. That kind of hurts me a lot as a contractor, especially since I'm union and that's where I'm supposed to get my labor. Whenever I did hire plumbers from outside, don't get me wrong, they'd sign them up, they'd collect money from them. But the problem is I had to pay them based on what the local scale was, and that doesn't leave you any room to incentivize employees. Meaning when you get employees that are really good, you're already paying them so much, and even the bad ones, you're paying them so much. It's hard to give them bonuses. It's hard to give them a commission on jobs and sales and things like that. And that really hurts a contractor owner, especially a residential service company owner that is competing with other companies around that actually most of their pay is based on incentives. And the more people sell, the more they make, and the better it is for the plumber. I get it. It's a great idea. But when you're union, it's hard to do that. It's not built into their system. And most open shop plumbers don't get that. They all like, well, why do I want to join the union? The union just wants me to pay them so much a month to be a member of the union. Luckily for me, when I got into the union in '97, I saw it. I saw how much more the union was paying. But remember, I was working commercial, construction, not residential service. So there's a big delta there. But I saw, once I got into the union, that I could work commercial, I could work industrial, I could work things like that. I was really good at it. I moved up at it. I learned more. I became more educated, and it actually helped me move up through the ranks. I became a foreman. I became a superintendent. I became a director of operations. You can move up and take on more responsibility and make more money for doing it. But now that I started up my own company, it looked a little different. As a new startup company, I paid the union about $100,000 a year for these employees that really, they didn't get me, I brought in, but to pay for their insurance, to pay for their benefits, to pay for their retirement, to pay for everything. And not only that, what all it costs to be in the union. And I'll get more into that in a little bit, but I got nothing back out of that. So my biggest problem with the union was, number one, they could not help me with labor. Meaning when I needed plumbers, they couldn't help me. I had to find labor. So literally I was paying the union so I could go out and recruit for them. And remember guys, whenever I signed up, I literally talked to the union and said, hey, look, I'm going to be a residential service company. They kept saying, oh, well, we're building a training center. We're going to start training on that. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. They still haven't done it. And that was 5 years ago. So make sure if you're a contractor, if you want to be a contractor one day, make sure that you understand what you're getting into. Because, when people tell you they're going to do something, they don't always do it. Another bad thing about it is whenever I would bring in apprentices, I would go out and recruit and I would send them down to go talk to the apprentice training center. They'd come back and tell me, well, Roger, we talked to them down there and the union says they don't do residential service. It's like, guys, look, I'm a union contractor. We do. But they were literally down there telling apprentices, oh, we don't do that, because they're pushing the apprentices where they want them to go, to the big contractors. I get it. I have no problem with it. But just let me know that in the beginning. And it was really funny because I was part of the union for 5 years as a contractor. You can go to the MCAA, the MSCA, you can go to Local 100, and see that they never even showed that I was a member. They never showed my company as being part of the union. Now, I paid them a lot of money to be part of it, so I know I was. I just didn't get any recognition from it. And in the end, I think what it all got down to is I just got tired of dishonest people. Look, I talk good about my union because I think at the core it's good. I think they got some rotten eggs in there. I think they got some really rotten eggs. And it makes the entire union look bad. Because if you look at a union that over the last 20 years really hadn't grown that much, you've got to ask yourself why it hadn't grown. I'm here in the Dallas area and I'm out trying to recruit plumbers so I can get people to work for me. You would think that a union here in the Dallas area could recruit people and get them in and fill the positions. But anyway, I got tired of people being dishonest with me about it. Oh yeah, we're working on that. Oh yeah, we're gonna make that better. Oh yeah, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. At the end of the day, they really didn't do very much. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying my union didn't do anything at all for me. They just didn't do what they promised they would do. And then later, I found out that I had been blackballed by my union. Remember, this is the same union that wanted me to sign up, wanted me to be a member of the contractors, and man, we're going to help you and we're going to do that and we're going to make it great and you're going to love it. And man, and when I found out they had blackballed me for running profitable jobs, man, it was just kind of like, really, this is what I get. And then when I started looking at, they don't have me listed on their list. They don't have me listed as part of the MCAA. They don't have me listed anywhere in there with any of the companies, but they'll take my money from me every month. Matter of fact, they'll call me and tell me, hey, you're a day late, so get your money in. But they really didn't do anything for me. So I gotta tell you, the reason I got out of the union is I wanted to grow. If you're a plumber and you are wanting to grow a business, don't become a union plumber unless you're gonna be a big commercial style plumber. Now, I'm sure that there are some plumbing locals across the United States that actually do service and actually train service. I've heard of some of them. I've never been to them, never seen them, so I don't know what all they do or what all they teach. And actually, if you're in one of those unions and you love it, do me a favor, leave me a comment down below and let me know, are they training residential service good? Because I truthfully think the union could be. I think the union should have an amazing training program that trains commercial, residential, service, new construction. I think it could literally train everything, and the United Association could be the biggest, fastest growing thing in the plumbing industry. Guys, I left because it wasn't the right thing for me. Like I said, look, I loved it. I loved it for 25 years. I believe they do a lot of good things, but I also believe there's a lot of things that they could do better. And maybe those of you that are union members, speak up and let your union know what you want done to get better. I tried it with mine. It didn't work very well. I got blackballed. Anyway, leave me a comment down below and let me know. Do you believe in the union or are you anti-union? If you believe in it, are you in it or are you not in it? Here's my thing. Here's why I love talking about it. I was union for 25 years of service. I've been open shop for about 15 years of service. I've done union. I've done open shop. I've done commercial. I've done residential. I've done service. I've done new construction. Do me a favor. Leave me a comment down below and let me know, what are your thoughts, union or non-union, and why. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.